Hi, Schlockmeister fans. We're going to watch a movie here called Cutting Class with Brad Pitt. Let's check it out. Martin Mull.
You look like the mail-order outdoorsman.
Thank you.
You are supposed to be taking the week off. You're just going to find something in here that's going to upset you.
Anyway, Paula's dad is going hunting for a week. And notice the headline, Boy Who Killed Father Released from Institution. And while Martin Mull is out hunting, someone's hunting him. Here we got ourselves a young Brad Pitt.
We were friends once, you know, we used to do things together, but it's not going to happen anymore.
That's Brian on the left.
I went to a hospital. I'm better now.
That's the kid who was released from the institution.
And I say, unless you buy a ticket, you will be clapping erasers until your hair turns gray.
We have Roddy McDowell in this film as well as the high school principal. Did I mention that Roddy's a pervert?
Oh, you know I will.
This school has a big walk-in kiln. And the teacher's getting killed in that kiln. Jill Sholin has a key to the school because she works in the office.
What we really want is the key to the school files.
I can't give this to
She's
you.
going to give him the key in exchange for his ring.
Because I'm responsible.
They pull out Brian's file.
I get shocked every day he was in the hospital.
Dad. I'm going to change my IQ.
Every single day. How could they do that to him?
The kids are out on a field trip, and they fail to notice Martin Mull, who's still alive. Colleen, the cheerleader, wants to give the fans a thrill.
Our team isn't that great, right? They should give the fans something better to cheer about.
And she does just that, but if you look closely, she's actually wearing a flesh-colored thong. And then she's going to pay for it. Her and her guy here are going to get sliced under the bleachers just as the team wins, leaving the creepy janitor to clean it up. Or did he do it?
Yeah.
Brian and Dwight, Brad Pitt, used to be friends.
Remember the time under my dad's car? We took that part out, didn't put it back in.
We were just fooling around.
I wasn't fooling around.
Creepy janitor again.
I'm the custodian of your fucking destiny.
That man is
Right.
One of the teachers. Dwight finds the body. And he accuses Brian.
Who's the killer?
So the police are out looking for Brian, who took off.
Get help.
The police dog finds Martin Mull.
Get help. Help. Help.
Reading Brian's report again.
Friend talking.
Street for that old rag, and you wouldn't either, Dwight. You don't show tomorrow, you fail. You fail gym class, you don't get your diploma. No diploma, no future, no nothing.
He wanted to go to the funeral for the teacher. Brian goes to confront Paula. He's talking about his father.
Considering how he treated my mother and me, that was generous. It's a copy of the murder.
He insists he's not the killer.
Look, you could even see part of his hand.
And she recognizes that ring as belonging to Brad Pitt. Now here's an interesting kill. Our gym teacher is on a trampoline. Paula stumbling upon Colleen and friend.
Which door? Get it right or die. The train leaves Chicago at 8, heading east.
Door.
There's no doubt who the killer is now.
He didn't account for the difference in time zones. How I spent the last 5 years of my life.
Paula's dad is the DA.
Courtesy of your father. Do you know? So don't take it personally. When I kill you. Just doing my job.
But Dwight to the rescue. A chase ensues. And a fight. He manages to get Brad Pitt's head stuck in a vice. And she decides to seduce him, which is what he wants.
Brian?
To distract him.
Hurry. For Dwight's sake.
No more fucking around with my emotions!
So Brian's dead, and as they are leaving, they almost run over Martin Mull.
Daddy!
And that's the end of our film.
That goddamn Brian Woods.
Alright, let's talk about this movie, Cutting Class. This is a movie, I think I taped this back in 1992, perhaps late 1992, early 1993, I think. I started taping movies on SP Speed, one movie per tape, in 1992. This was actually one of the first movies I taped, so I think it was 1992. I think I watched this movie, in fact I know I did, I watched it with my Schlockmeister brother Jeff at my old house, and haven't seen it since, until now. And I remember always liking it. I remembered about Martin Mull being like injured throughout the film and people like almost stumbling upon him and stuff. Other than that, I didn't remember anything else. But I do remember enjoying it, and I enjoyed it again when I watched it yesterday. So there you go. Jill Schoelen stars in this movie. She plays Paula. Her dad is Martin Mull. He's the local DA, and he goes out on a hunting trip, and he gets shot with an arrow while he's gone. Meanwhile, she's in high school, and her friend is Brad Pitt, plays Dwight. And there's this other kid played by Donovan Leitch, or Light, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he's the son of the singer Donovan from the 60s. And he plays Brian. And Brian has been in an institution for a while. He killed his father. They don't know if it was what exactly the circumstances was, but he's apparently okay now. So anyway, it wasn't like a murder. It was like he was mentally disturbed or something. I don't know. But anyway, allegedly he's okay now. But anyway, suddenly people start dying around the school. So there's a serial killer around. And we're kind of led to believe that it's either Dwight or Brian. And Paula's kind of caught in the middle of it. Ultimately, we find out at the end that it actually is Brian. He is still mentally disturbed, and he's going around basically taking revenge against everybody, including he was the one who shot Paula's father with the arrow at the beginning. Now, Martin Mull actually is still alive. Throughout the movie, we see him multiple times. People keep almost stumbling upon him. He's hurt and injured and stuck in the woods, but he's still alive. So anyway, at the end of this movie, he's stalking Paula. Dwight comes to the rescue. Dwight and Brian get into a fight in the woodworking area of the school with tools and things. And Brian managed to get Dwight's head stuck in a vice. And then Paula decides to seduce him to try to take his distract him a little bit, which works. And then she hits him in the head with a hammer and then shoves him into this electrical thing where he fries. So End of movie, end of story. They do find Martin Mull at the end, and he's okay. So anyway, that's the movie, Cutting Class. It's kind of a late 80s, kind of like try to be like a hip horror movie, and I enjoyed it actually. It's got a couple of nude scenes in it. It's got a couple of gore scenes in it. The hammer was kind of cool when that got stuck in Brian's head, and then there was a teacher that had an axe to the forehead, which was also kind of cool. There's some decent gore in here too. So anyway, that's this movie. I always kind of had a thing for Jill Schoelen back in the day. She was in The Stepfather. She was kind of like a different version of Demi Moore with that throaty kind of voice. And actually, they're only 4 months apart in age. But so anyway, and it's kind of interesting seeing Brad Pitt in an early role. Brad Pitt apparently was not the producer's first choice for this role, but the director brought 4 girls from the set, and they all said, "He's gorgeous." So the producer relented, and actually does a pretty good job in this movie. So anyway, that's the movie. It's called Cutting Class. It's available on DVD and Blu-ray. This was put out by Vinegar Syndrome. I think this was part of their Thanksgiving or Black Friday sale last year. I didn't get it then, but I got it recently on another sale they had. So I don't have the slipcover for it, but I don't give a shit about slipcovers. So anyway, it's called Cutting Class. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments down below. It's a good movie. Watch it. Bye.